Hello! Today I've got another tutorial for you, an autumn theme tutorial, and this time it's mainly about the eyeliner. Lately I've been just loving to wear colored eyeliner, like weird colors, not just black, but you know, all sorts of different colors. So for today I decided to go for a ombre look, sort of an autumn ombre look, like with orange and red and green and blue, and just sort of shades that made me think of autumn. So yeah, it's actually pretty easy, I think. I mean, like, I don't know, like mixing the colors was more difficult than I expected, but the whole process isn't very difficult. So yeah, let's get started.
So as always, I started out with the Maybelline Color 2 in Crème de Rose, which is finally almost empty. And yeah, I just applied it on my entire eyelid all the way up to my eyebrow. This time I didn't put it underneath my eye because I don't want to do a smoky eye this time. And for eyeshadows I used the Urban Decay Vice XX palette. And started out with this green shade. I'll just list everything I used down below in the description box as usual. But yeah, I decided to sort of make a edge there. And there was a lot of fallout here, but luckily a fan brush saves the day. Anyways, yeah, you could also use tape for this, or you could use a business card or a piece of paper, whatever really. I decided to freehand it because for some reason I can't get it even on both eyes when I don't freehand it, so yeah. That is just a matter of what you prefer. And then I just used a fluffier brush, as you can see here, to put the color into the crease. Which took a while because it was actually less dark than I hoped it would be. I don't think I've used the color before actually, before this time. But yeah, then I used this dark grey color with silver glitter in it to darken up the outer edge and also the pretty much the deepest part of the crease a little bit. This really took me quite some time because really, like, again, this shade is dark grey and not black, so I don't know, it just didn't really get as dark as I wanted it to quickly enough, I guess. So I just kept applying it for like an age and a half. And then went on to my eyebrow highlight with this pale nude shade. It's a matte shade, so it's quite subtle, which I liked for this look. And then I used Laced, which is pretty much the same color as my skin, to just blend it together. I really like the smooth effect it gives. And then for my eyelid I used Midnight Cowboy, which is a very pale nude shade with sort of silver glitter in it. It looks almost metallic, as you can see. I think it's pretty much one of my favorite shades in this entire palette. And yeah, I applied an extra amount on the inner corner, just to highlight it a little bit more there. And then decided I did still think the crease was not dark enough, so I went back with a different brush. And just applied some more of the dark green shade I started out with on top of everything else. Which did make it dark enough. And then for eyeliner I used the Aqua Color palette by Kryolan, at least one of their Aqua Color palettes. This is one with a lot of bright colors. As you can see, it's well loved. And this time I decided to not go for an eyeliner brush, but instead I used a very thin detail brush, a nail art brush actually. I did obviously clean it properly before using it on my eyes. But yeah, I wanted to do the rainbow effect, but I wanted to do a thin black line underneath that, so I figured a thin brush will probably work. So what I did is just copy each step onto each eye, because I think if you do this like on one eye and then on the next eye, like do it completely and then go to the other eye to do it completely, it's just more difficult to get it completely even on both sides. So yeah, I just did that, and I blended the colors together, of course. And yeah, I think actually, like, I have no idea if face paint is actually supposed to be used as eyeliner. I always do it, never had issues with it, but if you have sensitive eyes, do be careful. And yeah, the thing is just I cannot find eyeliners in all these colors. So I don't have much of a choice, but yeah, anyway, I just did a whole ombre from sort of dark yellow to green. Actually would have preferred a darker green, but I didn't have one, unfortunately. But yeah, these are just shades that really remind me of autumn. And then to just darken it up a little, like, I don't know, I just think it gives more of a fierce look to have some black around it as well. So I just made a very, very thin line right below my eyelashes. And decided to pull it on into the wing as well, just to make the green a little bit darker. Just really carefully, because I didn't want to go over all the colors, of course, because, you know, like, trying to get the color back over black would have been pretty difficult. But yeah, and then of course, try to make it as even as possible on both the eyes. And then I did decide to do a little bit of color on the lower lash line. I went for the green shade that I started out with originally. And just sort of darkened up the outer edge. Like the outer corners. I didn't really want a lot of color there. I just want a little bit of shaping really. And then for the waterline I used black as well. Estée Lauder in Blackened Black. Which is actually far more expensive. Like I think it's like 22 euros. More expensive than I just usually spend on an eye pencil, but it does stay in my waterline the entire day without any issue, so that's really really good. And then for mascara, surprise surprise, I use the Rimmel Scandaleyes Lycra Flex mascara. I still like it, I still use it every day, it still hasn't run out, and I still have 15 other mascaras waiting to be used. But yeah. Anyway, I just applied that on both my top lashes and my lower lashes. You could use false lashes as well, but I prefer not to. I don't find them very comfortable. And then I used an orange blush by Essence as a blush, obviously. And then for highlights, I decided to go for Midnight Cowboy, which is the same shade that I also used on my eyelids. And just, you know, highlighted my top lip, my nose, my chin and my cheekbones, obviously. It does stand out very much as a highlight, but I do think it suits the look very well. And then for my lips I decided to go for more of a classic autumn shade, which is dark red. I really love dark red in autumn. This particular one is a really old one by Essence, which I don't think is available anymore. But you know, it's just an average shade, so most brands will have it. And yeah, then that's the final look. I really enjoyed doing this, I really enjoyed wearing it as well. And yeah, I don't know, I've just been really into colored eyeliner lately. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye! Yeah. And then as an eyeliner I used this cream eyeshadow by Peggy Sage. It's dark blue and shimmery. It's really nice. You can use anything, you know, you have in this shade of course.